Hello YouTube, welcome to an Astronomia Corporation tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to build a very simple house with my two friends, the Pi Warrior and Connor. Connor and Pi are on a Skype call with me and they shall now greet themselves.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so while me and Pi teach you, Connor will be dilly-dabbling with a brick over there.
It's fun.
Today we will be teaching you how to make a very simple Tron type house. 4 walls, 3 windows, a nice roof.
That even a staff can build.
Yes, that even a staff can build. So, for this project, there will be 2 requirements you need. One requirement is Build V3. It's a tool. I will be putting the link in the YouTube description. Since slots are broken right now, we decided to take the courtesy of fixing it, and we applied some hotkeys to this tool. So once again, before you follow this tutorial, I highly recommend clicking on the link below and taking a copy of this tool. A second, it's not mandatory, it's optional, but I would highly recommend is having a teleport tool. It just makes getting to places a lot easier.
Especially during building.
Okay, now I'll move this to the side and we shall begin our project. First off, we will also be teaching you how to use every part of the interface in this project. Not every part, for example, advanced stuff like friction and rotation and reflectance and form factor. We will get into that later, a lot later. This is just a very simple tutorial. So your third requirement is just a brick. A 1 by 1 by 1 brick. So now we want to make the flooring of the house. So my friend Pi here will resize it so the dimensions are decently nice.
Decently nice.
Alright, so I would say a good amount would be... Oh, and if you didn't know, to resize, we clicked on the brick after selecting this first. This here is the resize option. And if you're lost in one of these, just click on the top right here and it'll bring you to this. This is for moving. This is for resizing. This is for rotating. And this is for locking. You might not want to use Build V3's lock feature though. It's pretty bad. So, I would say a decent size would be 1, 27, 33, as you can see up here. You see, up here it gives you all the details of your brick. The rotation, the size, and the position. This rotation matrix is a lot more complicated, and you'll learn about that when we go into C-framing. Again, and these are some options that will be very useful for you. Group parts, ungroup parts, undo, delete, redo, clone, save, apply. Save we won't be using much because it's a personal server. It saves by itself. Now, grouping parts, if you select... Actually, we'll get into that at the end. Ungroup parts and group parts will save towards the end. Undo. If you're building and you make a mistake and you want to do that, you can just push undo and bam, it'll fix it for you. If you realize you don't want to undo it, you can just do redo and it'll move it there. So undo that. Delete, of course. I bet that's pretty obvious. You just delete and it's gone. If you delete something by mistake, undo, we'll get it back. Just a note, undo does not work in every single case. For example, rotation, it seems to glitch. a lot.
But it is useful.
Yes, it is useful. And the clone tool, it's very simple. Makes clones. So let me just delete all that.
And we should also mention to them how to turn off clone shift.
Yes. Now we will be getting into, before we start building this, I just want to show you the options panel. To access the options panel on your Build V3 tool, you click the bottom right box, you click and options, and here are your options. Now, I can go ahead and explain all of this. Some are rhetorical themselves, and some I can explain, but for now, I will just go ahead and tell you what move increments and clone shift do for us. Let me just make this 27. As you can make it any size you want, but I want to keep it 27, nice and simple. Move increments. As you notice, when I move this brick up and down, it moves it by a very steady amount. Moves it
Exactly one stud.
Exactly one stud and moves it up, one stud moves it down. And as you can see, 1 is also the number we have filled in here. So we can change it to whatever we want. For now, we won't be using. Actually, we will. So let me just show you how to change it. You just click on it, you click on the 1, and you type in whatever amount you want. Since we'll be doing some precise C-framing in the beginning, I'm going to put 0.001. That's the amount I normally use. It may seem very crazy, but it's not, trust me. And you click submit. Now, the second option we're going to change is clone shift. Now, I'll explain what clone shift does. As you notice, when we clone, it makes it clone right on top. However, we do not want that for some parts. So in the bottom right, if you go and you turn clone shift to false and submit that, if we clone, oh look, you may have noticed, nothing really happened, but actually something has happened.
Very well it has.
Yes.
As you can see, the clone
It
is
created a clone inside the part. And I'll show again, if I clone, it selects the clone automatically, and I can move it up and down. Clone shifting is very important for some C-framing. Now, we should get into the main building part. Now, as you can see here, we made a Tronish-like base over here. And as you notice, too, it doesn't have studs on it. So I'll show you how to get rid of those too. First, we will select the part. Next, we will go into the fourth box on Build V3. You'll notice there is velocity, surface, wrought velocity, and friction. Those you can play with, but I highly recommend for this project you just stick to the task. For now, we'll go into surface. It gives you all these options here. Now, we want to smoothen every part of this brick, because if we turn it on its side, you can see there's studs there too. So, let me go ahead and show you how we can fix this. You click whichever one you want. On the top here, these are different options that give you different surfaces. Studs, inverted studs, studs and inverted studs, glue, and weld. Those can be used for different stuff, which we'll get into later. For now, we'll just choose smooth. So you click on it. It will not give you an option saying that it's selected, but just remember to click on it and it's selected by itself. Now, you can go ahead and choose what sides you want to smoothen. Since we want to smoothen every side, first we're going to start with left. You click on the left option and you click apply. Now as you can see, this apparently was the left side. doing that, it's smoothing the whole left side. Now I'm just gonna make it studs again for a sec. Hi, did you make a clone?
I think I did. Sorry about that.
Alright. So now, another hotkey for apply is V. So if I were to click the smooth thing and push V, remember clicking the smooth, option, left, and hit V. As you can see, it smoothened it. Now we're going to do it for every side. So Pi already did it, but what he did was, he clicked right and he pushed V. He clicked top and he pushed V. He pushed bottom and he pushed V. And he put front, V, back, V. As long as you don't click anything else on the top section, smooth will always be selected the whole time. Now say you don't know what side this is, and without going through the hassle of just selecting everything and making it smooth, there's also a pick option. The pick option allows you to choose whatever side and gives you the side if it's left side. So we can push the smooth option and push V, it'll smooth it.
As you can see here.
Have that done, we're going to color it a Tronish color. So for our example, we're going to use the color toothpaste. To get into the paintbrush, you're going to click the second box on build V3, and then you're going to click on this little paint bucket that's filling with blue paint. As you can tell, this painter was very stuffy. Now we're going to click on the paint bucket, and as you can see, this whole color swatch pops up. This color swatch gives you access to many different colors. In the bottom right, you'll see two icons that don't really fit in with the rest. If you hover over it, it'll tell you what it is, but apparently this isn't telling it right, but you can see if you hover this. Really red, earth green. This is a color picker. Say you're not exactly sure what color you used on this. Well, you pick color picker, and you click on the brick, and voila, it selects the color for you. If you push V or hit apply, it'll paint the color for you. The button in the most bottom right section is the random color thingy. Yeah, I call it thingy. If you select that and keep pushing apply or hitting V, it will do a different color each time. So now, we want a toothpaste color. Toothpaste is conveniently located in the middle down section, bottom section. It's called toothpaste. If you hover over it, click it, make sure we have this brick selected, and we're going to hit apply or push V. Voila! It may not look like it if it's the same color. The only reason this is looking brighter is because we have some dynamic lighting added to that area.
As you can see, if it's moved, it sort of fades.
So, now that we have this, we are going to start making the walls of the house. First, we want to start with a base. So now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to push clone on this so we can make the floor. So clone, I'm just going to move it up so I know what I'm selecting. Now, the floor, as we can see here, is black. So we are going to make the color really black, which is right here at the top. I'm going to select it, make sure the brick is selected, and push V, or hit apply. Now, you may notice it's covering the whole thing. Over there it's not. We don't want that. So what we're going to do is, you can see we have our resize axes here. I'm just going to resize it down by 1 on each side. So I'm going to click, drag, and move it 1 towards the middle. Okay, great. We have it now centered in the middle. At least that's what it seems. Now, this is unfortunate because we have it sticking up so high. We want it to be moved into the blue a bit. So I'm going to click on this No, Pi. Let me demonstrate. But to see what Pi was doing there, I'm gonna click on the brick, click on the move tool, and we're gonna move it down very slightly so it's hardly visible. And as you can see, it's a lot lower now, and it looks pretty nice too. Don't you agree, Pi?
I think we should also mention that Q is the move tool, and E is the hotkey for the resize.
Yes. Q and E are hotkeys. Q, if you push Q, it'll bring up the move tool. If you push E, it's a hotkey that gain easy access to the different tools. Also, I didn't mention this before, but if you select the move tool, rotation tool, you'll notice these little menus come up. Please do not worry about these for right now. These can be really, really messy at times if you get it screwed up. Let me just exit this. So, let's now begin with making the walls. As you can see, we have, if you count the parts which make up the walls, you can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 8 parts making up the wall. Let's start with the first piece of the wall. I'm going to clone this. As you can, if you cloned it, you'll know that since clone shift is off, it may not look like there's anything cloned, but you have the part selected. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to push E, or hit the resize thing here, icon, and move this all the way right. And as you can tell here, it was done similarly for this. Now, I'm just gonna move this part up so we can see it. I resized it up. It might be a little difficult to see since it's blending in with everything, so I'll make it a yellow color just for now so you can see it. So I'm gonna resize this up a decent amount. I would say 13 would be an excellent amount for now. You can check here. We don't want it to glitch with the floor like that. The reason that's happening is because the two bricks are colliding at a very common point. So I'm just gonna resize this up one bit. So now it's on top of the brick and it's not glitching anymore. Hooray. Now, since we can easily just take one wall and clone it to different areas, we're gonna just first finish this one wall. So, first, I'm just gonna make this black since you can see it easily now. Now, we want a window. Windows are awesome, aren't they, Pi?
Yes, would you like me to resize this?
Yes. Pi is now resizing it down a slight bit. No, Pi, that's too advanced now.
Oh.
So now we have the dimensions 5, 1, 31. 31 being from one edge of the floor to another. 1 being this doobly dabble. And
That's a fun.
5 being this way. Now, if you know some technical terms from using 3D modeling programs like Autodesk Maya or UDK or Unity, Blender, whatever, you'll know that these dimensions which are being showed are local, not world, local, because you can tell that where the y-axis should be, it's actually in spot of the x-axis. So that